how did this student deal with the source, which is a letter to President Johnson from a woman whose daughter benefited from federal funding for education? Well, I'm looking for a description that adds detail to what's provided in the caption, followed by some analysis about the value and limitations of the source, because the question is, how reliable and useful is this source as evidence of public support for Great Society programs? The Great Society programs are the social welfare programs of the Johnson presidency. Okay, let's read through it. This letter from a supporter, we have origin covered. To President Johnson, we have audience covered there. In 1965, good. We do have a date. I wonder if any more information will be given about the date. Was intended to paint the president in a positive light. Okay, that's clearly motive, isn't it? Paint the president in a positive light, and implies that his efforts in implementing Great Society programs have been very successful. The source is reliable as a sense of what certain individuals felt at the time of LBJ's presidency. So we know this is a reliable source of opinion. As a primary source, its tone accurately conveys the contentment that the individual felt towards the Great Society programs. Okay, slightly unusual way to put it, but this is tone. There is evidently a bias towards LBJ's policy. Okay, so we know this is a correspondent who has an opinion and it's biased towards the policy, which brings into question the reliability of the letter as a source of facts. However, the letter is still useful as a measure of the positive impact Johnson's policies were having in the opinion of citizens like the author. Okay, this is providing some context about how representative this one letter is, and it's good historical detective work to do that. It is necessary to examine other documents in conjunction with this in order to understand whether others felt the same way. Okay, need to look at whether other sources agree, or if in fact the Great Society impacted any groups negatively. Okay, so this could be referring to consistency and so on. Okay, so the first single sentence is enough of a description to place this into an intelligent context, because the student remembers what they've studied about this context and then immediately goes into reliability and usefulness, and is willing to say that while it's only reliable for an individual, it could be representative of a broader feeling of support for the presidency at the time. In other words, it's a really thorough analysis.